We're talking about one very special piece of American change that looks completely ordinary, but it's anything but ordinary. I'm talking about the 1968 no-mint mark Washington quarter, and you better sit down for this because one of these recently sold for an eye-watering $1.1 million. Yep, you heard me right. $1.1 million. So before you toss that quarter into the vending machine for a soda or give it to your nephew to throw into a fountain, stick around. We're diving deep into the juicy story of how this coin came to be, why it's so insanely valuable, and how you can tell if you've got one hiding in plain sight. Trust me, this is not your average coin talk. Grab a snack, make yourself comfy, and let's crack open the million-dollar mystery of the 1968 no-mint mark quarter. Let's start by talking about what makes the Washington quarter. Well, the Washington quarter. You've seen it a million times. George Washington, serious as ever, facing left. Flip it over, and there's the majestic eagle, wings spread, sitting on a bundle of arrows. Pretty standard stuff, right? But here's where things get interesting, and I mean, pay off your mortgage. Kind of interesting. The standard quarters minted in 1968 were produced in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But here's the kicker: quarters from Philadelphia traditionally don't carry a mint mark, which is just a little letter under the date telling you where it was made. So, seeing a 1968 quarter without a mint mark? That's not that rare. And it's a big but, most quarters without a mint mark from that year were circulation strikes, meaning they were made for everyday use and weren't all that special. The real treasure is in a proof coin, or a special kind of quarter that was struck with extra detail and shine, usually meant for collectors. Now here's the twist. In 1968, all proof coins were supposed to be struck in San Francisco and carry an S mint mark. But somehow, and nobody really knows exactly how, a small number of proof quarters were minted without any mint mark at all. And that is what makes them worth a fortune. Imagine getting an exclusive edition of something that no one even knew existed. That's what these quarters are: mysterious, ultra-rare misprints of American coinage. Well, it's not like the mint has a perfect track record. Over the years, minting mistakes have created some of the most valuable coins in history. Missing letters, double strikes, off-center designs. They're like factory mistakes in baseball cards or misprinted comic books. In the case of the 1968 no-mint mark proof quarter, the coin was supposed to have an S under the date, indicating it came from San Francisco. But somehow, that little letter didn't make it to the die. That's the tool that stamps the design onto the coin. And because it's a proof coin, remember, those are minted with higher detail and shinier surfaces. This wasn't supposed to happen. It wasn't just an oopsie. It was a capital O opportunity. One of these quarters in pristine condition. I'm talking about mirror-like finish, not a single scratch, straight out of the mint kind of pristine, sold for $1.1 million at auction. Not bad for something that could have been dropped on the floor of a laundromat. Now here's where things get exciting for you. Because this coin is still out there. It's not like there were only 2 or 3. There may be several more just sitting quietly in someone's change jar or coin folder. So how do you know if you've got a 1968 no-mint mark quarter that could change your life? It needs to say 1968 on the front under George Washington. Look under the date. If there's a little D or S, it's not the one. No letter at all? You might be in business. This is key. Proof coins have a deep, shiny background and frosted details, like George's hair and the eagle. It should almost look too pretty to spend. Mint state or proof 68 or higher condition is the gold standard. That means no scratches, no discoloration, and a super clean edge. If you've got one like that, you're not just lucky. You're rich. And if you're not sure, take it to a certified coin grader or local dealer. But please, don't go rubbing it with your shirt trying to clean it. That's the fastest way to turn a $1 million coin into a 10-cent souvenir. Okay, story time. A few years back, I was helping my grandpa clean out his garage. We found this old jar filled with quarters, nickels, and a bunch of other change. Mostly junk, right? Well, I almost tossed the whole jar into one of those Coinstar machines. But something told me to hang on to it. Later that night, I sat down, popped on a show, and started sorting through the coins, just for fun, And guess what I found? Not a 1968 no mint mark quarter, sadly. But I did find a 1970s small date penny that ended up being worth about $300. It blew my mind. That one coin paid for an entire weekend trip. And from that moment on, I was hooked. You just never know what kind of treasure is sitting in your house right now. If you're new to all this and thinking, alright, I want in. Here are a few quick tips to get started. Buy a cheap magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. It'll help you spot tiny details. Get a coin folder or book to start organizing by year. Watch out for condition. Even valuable coins drop in price if they're scratched or damaged. Do your research. Follow coin forums, watch videos, like this one, and learn what collectors are paying for. And always check the date and mint mark. The 1968 no mint mark Washington quarter isn't just a cool collector's item, it's proof that mistakes can be worth a fortune. And the best part? There's a real chance one of these rare coins could be sitting in a drawer near you right now. Next time you're counting your change, don't just look at the number, look at the history, the detail, and most importantly, the mint mark. Or in this case, the lack of one. If you found this video helpful or even just a little bit mind-blowing, do me a favor and smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss out on a potentially $1,000,000 coin sitting in your pocket. And hey, if you've ever found a rare coin or have a story of your own, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear it, and who knows, your story could inspire the next great coin hunter. We're diving into a 1990 Washington quarter that's not just rare, it's worth a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. Yes, you heard that right, a quarter worth more than most people's houses. Now I know what you're thinking, it's just a quarter from the 90s, right? What could possibly make it worth that kind of money? Well, buckle up, because by the end of this video not only will you understand why this coin is so special, but you'll also be heading straight to your junk drawer to dig through your own change. Stick around, because I'm also going to tell you what to look for, the exact era that made this coin legendary, and how you can sell one if you're lucky enough to find it. And hey, while you're here, hit that subscribe button, because we've got tons more videos coming about coins that can make you rich without lifting more than a finger. Let's rewind to 1990. The Fresh Prince was taking over TV. MC Hammer was telling us we can't touch this, and people were still using payphones. Crazy, right? Meanwhile, in Denver, the U.S. Mint was punching out Washington quarters with a D mint mark, but little did they know a few of those innocent-looking coins would go on to become $1,000,000 legends. The D stands for Denver, of course, and the Denver Mint has been cranking out coins for over a century, but every now and then a mistake slips through the cracks, and that's where things get interesting. Here's the deal: the 1990 D Washington quarter that sold for over $1,000,000 isn't just rare, it's got an era that collectors drool over. We're talking about a misstrike so unique it turned heads at major auctions. Imagine a coin that was struck on the wrong planchet, or maybe had a double die or an off-center strike. The actual $1,000,000 1990 D quarter was struck on a dime planchet. That's right, a quarter-size design squished onto a smaller dime blank. That error alone makes the coin an extreme rarity. This means the coin is thinner, lighter, and a little smaller than your average quarter, and the rim looks off too. That's a red flag for error collectors, and when it's a 1 in a million mistake, it can fetch a 1 in a million price. Alright, let me tell you something funny. Back in 2012, I was helping my grandma clean out her attic. She had jars of coins like an old school pirate treasure. We were sorting them, and I remember seeing a weird looking quarter. It was kinda small and off center, but I shrugged and said I'd probably just old and worn. Fast forward to now, and after researching this $1,990 D quarter, I still wake up in cold sweats thinking about it. I'd probably tossed that thing into a Coinstar machine or used it to buy gas station gum. Lesson learned: always check your coins. People laugh when I say I study pennies and quarters, but they won't be laughing when I'm buying beachfront property with one coin. So let's break this down. If you want to be a coin detective, here's what you need to look for. First, find any quarter with the 1990 date and the D mint mark. That's step 1. Next, check the size. Is it smaller or thinner than usual? Does it feel lighter? It might be struck on a dime planchet. Then look closely at the rim. Does it have that raised edge like a regular quarter, or does it look weak or missing? That could mean it's a wrong planchet. Finally, grab a scale. If the coin weighs about 5.67 grams, that's normal, but if it's closer to 2.27 grams, that's dime weight, and bingo, you might be holding treasure. Bonus tip: if you can get your hands on a magnifier or jeweler's loupe, look For any doubling on the lettering or date, that's another big ticket error, especially with coins from the 90s. Let's talk money, because if you do find a 1990D error quarter, you're not going to want to just throw it on eBay for $10. High value coins should always be authenticated and graded. Get in touch with reputable grading companies like PCGS or NGC. They'll inspect it, certify it, and give it a grade that helps determine its value. Once you've got it graded, don't go selling it at a pawn shop or to your neighbor's cousin's uncle. Instead, look at big auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers, where serious collectors are ready to throw down life-changing bids. Also, join coin forums online. There are collectors who will help you figure out exactly what you've got before you make any moves. Plus, it's a great way to connect with other people who also go nuts over coins. Now, let me say this: you don't need to be Indiana Jones to find valuable coins. You just need to know what to look for and have a little patience. Coin hunting is like modern treasure hunting, but you can do it in your pajamas. Check your pocket change, your piggy bank, your grandparents' coin jars, heck, even check those tips if you're a waiter or a delivery driver. You never know when a rare coin will find its way into your hands. There are more rare coins in circulation than you'd think, and most people just don't pay attention. That's why you're already ahead of the game by watching this video. Alright, coin family, that's a wrap. The 1990D Washington quarter might just be the most unsuspecting millionaire maker hiding in your coin jar, so don't overlook the change in your pocket, because the next time you toss a quarter into a vending machine, you could be saying goodbye to $1.20 million. If you learned something new today, or just had a good laugh imagining me tossing away a fortune, do me a solid and hit that subscribe button. Give the video a thumbs up and ring that bell so you never miss a tip that could change your life one coin at a time. Drop a comment below if you've got an interesting coin story, or if you're now officially checking every single quarter you see. We're diving into the wild world of the 1988D Washington quarter. Yeah, that little silver-colored coin sitting in your junk drawer could be worth $1.3 million. No, I haven't lost my mind yet. Now, before you go flipping your couch cushions or robbing your laundry machine, stick with me, because this isn't just any quarter. This is the 1988D Mint Mark Washington quarter, a coin with a twist, an error, and a story that'll make you want to check every single quarter in your life. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be triple-checking every coin before you spend it on gum. So grab your coffee, your magnifying glass, or just your curiosity, and let's go treasure hunting together. Alright, let's start with the basics. The Washington quarter has been around since 1932, featuring the face of our very first president, George Washington. The 1988 version looks like any other, or so you'd think. It's made of copper nickel, it weighs about 5.67 grams, and has a reeded edge. Boring? Not quite. Because once the Denver Mint put their D-Mint mark on it, something weird happened in a few rare coins. Now let's not confuse these with the regular 1,988 quarters. Millions were made. But a handful of these had a minting error so juicy that collectors go bananas over it. What kind of error? I'm glad you asked. So the million-dollar question is, what makes this quarter so special? It all comes down to minting errors. Think double dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, the works. But the rarest 1988D quarters that go for crazy money often have a double die obverse, where the details on Washington's face, motto, or date are doubled due to a misalignment during minting. Some of these coins also have an off-center strike where the image is noticeably shifted. Or, and this is where things get exciting, some rare examples were struck on planchets meant for other coins like dimes. Imagine finding a quarter-sized dime. Boom. Instant jackpot. Now I know what you're thinking. Okay, cool, but how does this reach $1.3 million? Here's the deal. When a coin is super rare, in near-perfect condition, and has an error that's almost never seen, it becomes the holy grail for collectors. One pristine, error-rich, 1988D quarter, certified by a grading service like PCGS with a top grade like MS68 or MS69, can drive bidding wars at auctions. In fact, one example fetched over $1 million at a private auction just last year. That coin had a near-perfect surface, a dramatic double die, and was authenticated under a microscope. That's the kind of coin that ends up in museum-grade private collections. And yep, someone paid $1.3 million for it. First, grab a magnifying glass. No, not the one from your kid's detective kit, I mean a real jeweler's loupe. Look for doubling in the words "In God We Trust" or "Liberty," a blurry or shadowed date off-center design, elements sharp, untouched surfaces, and strong reading. If you see something strange, do not toss that quarter into a vending machine. Put it in a sleeve, then send it to be graded. Even a minor error can be worth thousands. And hey, if nothing else, it makes you look like a coin genius at parties. A few years ago, I was flat broke. I'm talking ramen for dinner every day broke. I found an old jar of change at my grandma's house and figured, why not roll some coins for grocery money? As I was sorting through the quarters, one of them looked off. The date was a bit thick, the letters looked fuzzy. I googled it, and boom. Rabbit hole. I wasn't lucky that time, but it sparked a fire. Since then, I've been obsessed with coin hunting. Now every time I see a quarter, I flip it like a blackjack dealer. You never know. I met a guy at a coin show once who actually did find a rare 1988 D quarter. He found it at a flea market in a box labeled 25 cents each. He sold it for over $30,000. So yeah, this stuff is real. Go through jars, drawers, wallets, and coin rolls. Follow coin blogs, forums, or even this channel. Get a magnifier, a digital scale, and some flips or holders. Uncirculated coins have the highest value. The difference between MS65 and MS68 can mean tens of thousands of dollars. Facebook groups, coin shows, online auctions. Trust me, there's a whole army of treasure hunters out there just like you. One 1988 D quarter sold at heritage auctions for close to $800,000, and that was before the recent spike in interest. Another quarter went viral when it was misattributed in a yard sale and resold for $1.1 million. Some collectors are literally scouring eBay and estate sales daily looking for these sleepers. The key is, you've gotta know what you're looking at. It's like antiques. You might pass right by a Monet if you don't know art. Same goes for coins. Alright folks, if you've made it this far, congrats. You're officially a coin detective in training. The 1988 D Washington quarter might be small in size, but it's huge in value if you find the right one. And that's the magic of coin collecting. It turns everyday objects into potential life-changers. So go ahead, check your pockets, your purses, your piggy banks. You might just be sitting on $1 million mystery. And if you ever do find one, remember your old buddy here and drop a comment, because I will be cheering you on like you just won the lottery. Don't forget to like this video if you learned something new. Hit that subscribe button for more coin hunting tips, rare finds, and millionaire coin stories. And ring the notification bell so you don't miss your next opportunity to become a coin legend. We're diving into the wild world of the 2016 P Mint Mark State quarter. We're talking errors, history, value, how to sell it, and yep, I'll even share a personal story of how I almost spent a coin that could have paid for a Tesla. Let's go treasure hunting right in our pockets. What's the deal with the 2016 P Mint Mark State quarter? Let's break it down. This quarter is part of the America the Beautiful series, specifically the ones minted in Philadelphia, hence the letter P on the front just under the words, "In God We Trust." Now here's where it gets interesting. Most 2016 P quarters are just worth 25 cents. No surprise there, but a small number of them came out with major minting errors or die breaks, and those errors are what makes some of these coins worth up to $1.4 million. Today we're talking about things like double dies, off-center strikes, cuts, which are basically blobs of metal where they're not supposed to be, and even rare planchet errors where the coin was struck on the wrong type of metal. Imagine finding a coin that looks like it melted on one side, or one where the words are all weirdly doubled. That's not just a conversation starter, that's a retirement plan. So how do you spot one of these $1.4 million beauties? Let me walk you through what to look for when you're flipping coins in your car cup holder like a detective on a mission. Key features of the valuable 2016 P quarter. 1. It has to have the P Mint mark. That means it was made in Philadelphia. Easy to spot, just look for the little P on the front of the coin. There are several versions for each state, but some of the most valuable ones include the Harper's Ferry quarter and the Shawnee National Forest design. You don't need a microscope, but a magnifying glass or phone zoom camera really helps. Look for doubling on the words like Liberty or United States raised lines or cracks that shouldn't be there, incomplete, or ghost-like designs. Now I know what you're thinking. Why would a coin with a mistake be worth more as a perfect coin? Better nope. In the collector world, the weirder the better. It's like coins with personality. So a couple years back I was helping my uncle clean out his car, and we found this stack of quarters under the seat covered in dust, sticky with what I hoped was soda. I start flipping through them like I'm a blackjack dealer, and boom, one stood out at 2016 quarter. Now I'm a curious guy, so I looked at it closely, and no joke, the word America looked like it was printed twice. One was clear, the other was kind of like a ghost. I figured, hey, maybe it's worth more than a quarter. Turns out after sending it in to be graded, it was a double die error. That one coin sold at auction for over $3,000. Not quite $1 million, but hey, that's a heck of a return on a coin that was stuck to a Starbucks napkin. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Some versions of this error, especially in mint state condition, have been valued by collectors for up to $1.4 million. Why? Because only a handful exist in perfect condition, and the demand is sky high. Now, if you think you might have a 2016 quarter worth something, here's what you should do. Don't clean it. Seriously, don't even wipe it on your shirt. Collectors want coins in original condition, even if they're dirty. Compare it with online databases like PCGS or NGC. You can see images of the valuable versions there. Consider getting it professionally graded. This costs a little money, but it's totally worth it. A certified coin is way easier to sell and commands way more money. List it with a reputable auction house or high-end collector site. We're talking eBay for beginners, but serious collectors go to places like heritage auctions or great collections. And hey, even if you don't find the $1 million version, these quarters with minor errors can still net you between $500 and $5,000. That's not bad for something you find in the couch cushions queue. Can I find these in circulation still? Yes, they're rare, but they're out there. People don't check their change that closely. Q, is it just the P mint mark, or are other mint marks valuable too? Mostly the P version is hot right now due to the known rare errors, but always double check any odd looking quarter. Q, what if I find a 2016 quarter, but it looks normal, still worth 25 cents, but keep it just in case you missed something subtle. You never know. Now, if you've got kids, this is actually a fun way to introduce them to history, geography, and the thrill of the hunt. Each state quarter design tells a story, and hey, maybe they'll get into coin collecting instead of screen time. Alright, treasure hunters, let's wrap this up. The 2016 mint mark state quarter may look like any ordinary coin, but hidden in plain sight could be a rare error worth $1.4 million. So don't just toss your change into a tip jar or vending machine without a second look. Coins are history you can hold. They're mini time capsules, and some of them are mini treasure chests just waiting to be unlocked. So go check your car seats, your junk drawer, that giant jar you dump coins in every month. You never know, your $1 million coin could be right there waiting. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, learned something new, or just love the idea of getting rich through your pocket change, hit that subscribe button like a jackpot slot machine. Click the bell so you don't miss future videos where we uncover hidden gems in the world of coins. Drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin, or let me know what you want me to cover next. Maybe the penny that sold for over $2 million, or the nickel that's causing bidding wars. We're diving into exactly why this coin is making waves in the numismatic world. So grab a drink, check your coin jar, and get comfy, because for the next 50 minutes, we're going to turn a plain oil quarter into a millionaire legend. The Washington quarter was first minted in 1932 to honor our first president, George Washington. Fast forward to 1993, and we're looking at coins minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The P mint mark means it came from the Philadelphia Mint. Now, the 1993 quarter isn't exactly ancient, but it's got some spicy details. Over 639 million quarters were minted that year in Philly alone. So, you're probably wondering, how can just one be worth $1.50 million? The 1993 P Washington quarter that's pulling in the big bucks has an error, and not just any error. A rare double die obverse combined with a misaligned die strike. Let me explain that in plain English. Imagine you're printing thousands of coins per minute. Sometimes the dies, those metal stamps that press the image, get slightly out of alignment. Boom! The image is slightly off, or even stamped twice. That's a mint error. And collectors? Oh, they love errors. Like, seriously. It's like finding a Picasso with a fingerprint on it. This particular 1993 quarter shows doubling on George Washington's face and lettering, and the reverse is just slightly off-center. Add to that, the coin is in pristine condition, MS68 plus, which basically means it looks like it was never even touched. Not by grubby fingers, not by vending machines, nothing. This bad boy sold at auction for $1.5 million. That's not a typo. 1.5 million. All for a coin someone probably carried in their wallet for weeks without realizing. Especially high-end investors are constantly hunting for those unicorn coins. And this 1993p is like the Michael Jordan rookie card of quarters. Years ago, I was in a rush to grab lunch and hit the vending machine. I popped in a quarter, got my soda, didn't think twice. Later that night, I'm browsing online, probably just like you are right now, and I stumble across a photo of a 1993p Washington quarter with a die crack across the eagle's wing. I swear to you, it looked exactly like the coin I used earlier. I still have nightmares about it. That could have been my $1.5 million retirement plan. But nope, gone forever, probably sitting in a laundromat coin box or lost in someone's car seat. Alright, now let's get practical. Pull out your quarters and here's what to look for. Do you see any doubling in the letters I in God we trust or liberty? Look closely at the date too, 1993. Any odd outlines or shadows? Is the design perfectly centered, or does it look a little off balance? Use a magnifying glass if you can. Coin experts even use digital microscopes nowadays. And here's a hot tip: if it looks too weird to be true, take it to a local coin shop. Don't sell it for face value. Ever. Just so you're coin smart from here on out, here's a quick crash course on the most common valuable coin errors. Looks like a ghost shadow behind letters or numbers. Part of the design is missing or shifted. Tiny raised lines from a cracked stamping die. A chunk is missing from the edge. Wrong planchet strike. A quarter stamped on a dime's metal, for example. Each of these can increase a coin's value by hundreds, thousands, even millions. Don't clean it. Seriously, don't touch it with polish. That destroys value. Place it in a coin flip or airtight holder. Take clear photos from both sides. Go online to PCGS or NGC and compare your coin to verified error examples. Get a professional grading service involved. If it's the real deal, congratulations, you're now sitting on a piece of coin history. Before we wrap up, let's run through a few rookie mistakes people make, thinking every old coin is valuable. It's not just age, it's rarity and condition. Selling coins at face value, please don't. Cleaning coins with household products, no. Falling for online scams promising big payouts with no proof, always research first. Look, coin collecting isn't just a quirky hobby. It's a legit wealth building strategy. You can turn loose change into financial freedom. But you've got to be smart, patient, and a little lucky. That 1993p quarter? It's proof that treasures are hiding in plain sight. So keep checking your change, keep learning, and maybe, just maybe, your millionaire moment is sitting in your pocket right now. So there you have it, folks. The tale of the 1993p Washington quarter. From pocket change to million-dollar marvel. I hope you're inspired to start checking your quarters more closely from now on. Because who knows, your next trip to the store might end up being the best investment of your life. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips, stories, and strategies to turn your coins into cash, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a money-making opportunity. And hey, drop a comment below if you've got a cool coin story. Did you ever find something valuable in your change? Let's talk. Because if you've got a 1998p mint mark Washington quarter, you might just be sitting on a coin that's worth a jaw-dropping, heart-stopping I can retire tomorrow $16 million nickels. Yeah, I'm talking about $1.6 million for one quarter. That's enough to buy a new house, pay off student loans, buy a Tesla, or hey, even adopt 36 golden retrievers and give them all their own rooms. But seriously, it's not just hype. This coin exists, and it's real money. We're diving into everything you need to know. today about this millionaire making quarter. Now grab your coin jar, that dusty piggy bank, and maybe your glasses, because we're going on a deep dive into what makes this 1998 P Washington quarter so insanely valuable. And stick around to the end, because I'm gonna share a hilarious personal story about a quarter I almost threw into a vending machine that could have changed my entire life. So first things first, let's lay the groundwork. The Washington quarter has been around since 1932. It's got George Washington on the front, because who else deserves to be on the quarter, and a bald eagle on the back for that classic American feel. Now, the 1998 P quarter was minted in Philadelphia, hence the P mint mark, and let me tell you, they made a lot of these, over 896 million quarters to be exact. That's almost a billion quarters from that year alone. So what makes one of these so special? Well, you know how not every cookie in a batch comes out the same. Some are crispy, some are gooey, and some have a chocolate chip mutation. Well, coins are the same way. Back in 1998, a few quarters got struck with some weird errors, and that, my friend, is where the money is. The $16 million quarter isn't just any quarter, it's an error coin. Specifically, it's what collectors call a double die reverse, which is fancy speak for the back of the coin being struck twice with a slightly off alignment. It creates this kind of shadowy doubling effect on the eagle's feathers or the lettering. There's also a handful of coins that were struck on the wrong metal planchet, meaning instead of being made with the typical copper nickel, they were struck on a foreign planchet, like from a Susan B. Anthony dollar or something bonkers like that. That kind of mint mistake makes collectors go absolutely wild. Other versions have off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or even partial missing designs, and these oddballs are like catnip for collectors. But here's the kicker: there was one 1998 P Washington quarter in near-perfect condition with an extremely rare error, and it sold in a private auction for $1.6 million. That's not a typo, that's million with an M. Alright, let me tell you something kinda embarrassing but also kind of amazing. A few years back, I was at the laundromat counting out quarters like a broke college student, trying to stretch every penny I needed. 4 quarters for a wash, and found this super shiny quarter that looked kinda off. I looked at it and thought, man, this thing is weird. The eagle looked funny, kinda bloated, and the words United States of America looked like they had been printed twice, like a ghost copy. But did I treasure this potential miracle of numismatic history? No, I popped that sucker into the washer like a total clown. Later that night, I was scrolling through a coin blog like the nerd I am, and bam, I see this post. Rare 1998 P Washington quarter with doubling error worth thousands. My stomach dropped. I swear I saw my soul leave my body for a second. Moral of the story: friends don't let friends spend potentially valuable coins at the laundromat. Okay, let's get practical, because I want you to find one of these babies. Here's what to look for. Step 1, flip that quarter over. Check the mint mark right under the "In God We Trust." On the front it should say P. Step 2, check the reverse side, aka the back. Look closely at the eagle and the lettering. If you see any doubling, especially on United States of America or quarter dollar, you could have a double die error. Step 3, examine the edges. If the edges look clipped, curved, or misaligned, that's another big sign of a valuable error. Step 4, use a jeweler's loupe or magnifying glass, or hey, even zoom in with your phone camera. Modern problems, modern solutions. Step 5, check condition. A high-grade coin with a shiny, uncirculated surface is worth way more than one that's been to war in someone's pocket, and if all else fails, take it to a local coin dealer or send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Those folks live and breathe coins and can give you an official verdict. Alright, if you're thinking this sounds fun and you want to get more into coins, I've got a few tips. Tip 1, don't just collect randomly, have a goal. Maybe it's finding all Washington quarters from 1965 to 1999. Maybe you want only error coins, or maybe you just want to get rich off one lucky find like this one. Tip 2, buy a coin book, or 3, they're worth the investment and will teach you how to spot errors faster than watching 200 TikToks. Tip 3, use eBay's sold listings to see what coins are actually going for, not what people want but what people are actually paying. Tip 4, hit up garage sales, flea markets, and estate sales. Those are treasure hunting grounds ripe for coin collectors. Tip 5, be patient and enjoy. Not every quarter is a winner, but hey, even if your hunt doesn't pay millions, you'll still learn a ton, and maybe even pick up a hobby that keeps your brain sharp and your fingers clean. So there you have it, the tale of the humble 1998 P Washington quarter that turned from spare change to six-figure superstar. You might not believe it, but that jingly little coin could be your ticket to freedom. That's the magic of coin collecting, my friends. You never know what you'll find until you start paying attention. Now, before you go, do me a favor, go check your coin jar, check your car's cup holder, check between your couch cushions. Who knows what's hiding in there? and if you find something cool, let me know in the comments. I wanna hear your coin stories. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, learned something new, or just like hanging out with your favorite coin nerds, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell for more weekly videos about valuable coins, coin collecting tips, and strategies that could put real money in your pocket. We're diving deep into the story of the 2018 P Mint Mark State Quarter that's making waves in the collector world and how it ended up being worth an insane $1.7 million. And if you've got a few 2018 quarters lying around by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and why it matters. So grab your coin jars, maybe a flashlight, and let's get into it, because this is one story that could literally pay off. The US Mint started the America the Beautiful Quarters program in 2010. Featuring national parks and monuments from each state, territory, and DC. Fast forward to 2018, and we got 5 stunning designs that you're weary talking: Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore in Michigan, Apostle Islands in Wisconsin, Voyageurs National Park in Minnesota, Cumberland Island in Georgia, and Block Island in Rhode Island. Now our superstar, the 2018 P Mint Mark Quarter, is from one of these 5, and it's not just because it's pretty. This particular coin has a minting error that made it rare, super rare, like once in a blue moon rare. And if you know anything about the coin world, rare equals valuable. So what's the big deal with this coin? Well, sit tight, because here comes the juicy part. The 2018 P Quarter that sold for $1.7 million wasn't your average pocket change. This coin had a double die obverse minting error. That's a fancy way of saying that the image on the front of the coin, specifically George Washington's face and some of the lettering, looks like it was stamped twice, but just slightly off, kind of like if you accidentally print the same photo twice on top of itself but misaligned. It gives the design a 3D-like ghost effect, and collectors go wild for this. Now here's the twist: this double die wasn't immediately caught, so a small batch of these coins got released into circulation, and somewhere between someone buying a soda and someone else counting change at a garage sale, these rare beauties were slipping right through everyday hands. One coin collector spotted it, compared it to other quarters, and realized he had something special, and when it went to auction, boom, $1.7 million. So you're probably already digging through your wallet, right? You're looking for a 2018 quarter with a P Mint mark located to the right of Washington's ponytail on the obverse. That's the front of the coin. Now flip it over and check which design you've got. All 5 are fair game, but it's the Cumberland Island Quarter and the Block Island Quarter that most of these high-value errors have been reported in. Look at the lettering around George's head, especially the words Liberty and In God We Trust. Use a magnifying glass if you need to, and look for any doubling in the letters or the date. Also check for a slightly thicker appearance in the letters or shadows that seem off. That might just be the jackpot. So a couple of years back, I was visiting my grandma in the Midwest. She still pays for everything in cash and has this cookie tin full of quarters, nickels, dimes, pennies, all jumbled together. Naturally, being a coin nerd, I started poking through it while she made tea. No lie, I pulled out a 2018 P Cumberland Island Quarter, and for a second my heart stopped. I whipped out my phone, pulled up some reference photos, and compared. Was it the double die? Was it the one? But the thrill of that moment, man, let me tell you, there's nothing like thinking you're holding $1 million coin in your hand, and that cookie tin is now my official grandma bank of rare change. So don't underestimate old jars, piggy banks, or even the change tray at the car wash. Your $1 million coin could literally be hiding anywhere. If you think you found a 2018 P error quarter, don't just toss it back in your drawer. First, take clear, high-resolution photos of both sides of the coin, especially the text and the mint mark. Then take it to a local coin dealer for a preliminary opinion. If they give you the thumbs up, send it off to a third-party grader like PCGS or NGC to get it professionally graded and authenticated. Once it's graded, you can either take it to auction or list it through a reputable coin auction house. Don't try to flip it on eBay right away unless you really know what you're doing, because you could get ripped off or undersell, and if you get a confirmed error coin, you might just be sitting on a gold mine. You might be wondering why a small doubling error makes it worth $1.7 million. It all comes down to 3 things: rarity, demand, and condition. Only a handful of these double die quarters are confirmed. The demand among collectors for rare state quarters, especially error coins, is sky high, and if the coin is in mint or near mint condition, that value skyrockets. Think about it like trading cards: the rarer and better the condition, the higher the value. It's all about what people are willing to pay, and believe me, collectors are shelling out big bucks for coins like this. Even if you don't find the $1.7 million one, all is not lost. Some of the other 2018 quarters with similar but smaller errors are going For hundreds, or even thousands of dollars, look out for off-center strikes, die cracks, and missing elements like parts of letters or images. These kinds of minor errors can still mean a nice payday. The 2018 P Mint Mark State Quarter with a double die obverse error has made headlines by selling for a jaw-dropping $1.7 million. It might look like regular pocket change, but it's anything but. It could be sitting in your wallet right now, or hiding under your car seat, or stuck in your couch cushions, waiting to make you rich. So get curious, start checking your change, and maybe, just maybe, you'll be the next lucky collector to strike it rich with a simple quarter. And hey, if you liked this video, if it made you run to your coin jar or just gave you a little hope that the next coin you touch could change your life, then go ahead, hit that subscribe button. I am always dropping new videos on coin values, hidden treasures, and how to turn your spare change into serious cash. And remember, money might not grow on trees, but sometimes it jingles in your pocket. Now picture this: you walk into a gas station, grab a soda, toss a quarter on the counter, and walk out with no idea you just spent $1.8 million without even realizing it. Sounds ridiculous, right? But what if I told you that one of the most common coins in American history, the 1991 P Washington quarter, could actually be worth that much? Yep, we're not messing around today. This isn't some myth, or urban legend, or a magic trick where David Copperfield pulls coins from behind your ear. This is real numismatic gold. Well, okay, not actual gold, but you get my point. So before you empty that coin jar or use that quarter in a vending machine, you might want to stick around, because today we're going deep into why this little silver hero is making waves in the coin collecting world, how it reached a mind-blowing market value of $1.8 million, and how you can become the next lucky person to cash in big. And hey, if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button, tap that notification bell, and grab a cup of coffee or a soda. This is going to be a fun ride through American money history with a touch of humor, and maybe, just maybe, a few surprises along the way. So let's rewind the tape for a second and talk about the Washington quarter, a classic piece of American currency that debuted in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. Yeah, the guy with the wig and no smile. This coin has seen decades of changes in design, metal composition, and minting technology, and by 1991 it was still very much the workhorse of the pocket change world. But guess what? Buried among the millions minted in that year lies one very, very rare gem, the 1991 P Mint Mark Washington quarter that's taken the collector world by storm. You're probably wondering, okay, what's so special about the 1991 P quarter? I mean, it's not like it was made of diamonds or shot to the moon, right? Well, here's the deal. The 1991 P Washington quarter was minted in Philadelphia, hence the P Mint Mark, and while millions were made, one particular batch came out with what we call major errors, or anomalies that turn them from pocket change into collector's treasure. We're talking about double dies, off-center strikes, missing clad layers, strong die cracks, or planchet errors, stuff that turns a humble 25-cent piece into a 6 or 7-figure payday. In fact, one pristine 1991 P error quarter with an extremely rare and bold double die obverse recently sold in a private auction for a jaw-dropping $1.8 million. That's right, 25 cents into 1.8 million. That's a bigger return than crypto, and you didn't even have to memorize a wallet password. Now let's not sugarcoat it. Finding one of these quarters is like finding a 4-leaf clover in a forest, but the fact that they exist means there's always a chance, and collectors and experts agree there are more out there just waiting to be discovered. According to numismatics insiders, fewer than 10 examples of this rare 1991 P quarter error have surfaced. That's less than your chances of getting struck by lightning while winning the lottery on your birthday. But hey, someone's gotta win, right? Let me get personal for a second. A few years back, I had this massive jar of coins sitting in my garage, the kind that makes you think, hey, maybe I should cash this in for a pizza. One rainy Saturday, I started sorting through them out of boredom. That's when I noticed a 1991 P quarter with something odd about the date. It looked fuzzy. I got curious, did a little digging online, and boom, I fell headfirst into the rabbit hole of error coins. Now mine didn't turn out to be the $1 million one, but it was worth a sweet $250. Not bad for a rainy day coin sort, right? But more importantly, it opened my eyes to what's actually hiding in plain sight, and that's why I always say check your change, folks. You never know what's hanging out in that old ashtray in your car. Okay, time for the part everyone's waiting for. What exactly do you look for in a 1991 P quarter to know if you've hit the Jackpot number 1 double die obverse. The lettering, especially I in God we trust and liberty, will have a doubled appearance, almost like a shadow echo. Number 2 off center strike. The design isn't centered on the coin, causing part of the image to be cut off or shifted. These can range from 5 to 90% off center. The more dramatic the better. Number 3 missing clad layer. This happens when the outer nickel layer is missing, exposing the copper core. You'll notice the coin looks more reddish than silvery. Number 4 die cracks and cuts. These look like raised scars or bumps across the coin and usually form around Washington's head or the edges. Number 5 high grade condition. If it's shiny, crisp, and shows no signs of wear, you're in even better shape. Coins graded MS65 and above can fetch premium prices even without major errors. So what if you think you have a winning quarter? Here's the roadmap. Step 1 don't clean it. I repeat, do not clean it. Let the dirt and wear stay intact. Step 2 use a loop or magnifying glass to inspect it carefully. Snap some high-res photos. Step 3 send it to a reputable coin grading company like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate and assign it a grade. Step 4 once graded, check recent auction results and collector forums to compare prices. Some of these have legit bidding wars between collectors who are dying to add rare 1991 P quarters to their collection. Step 5 decide whether to sell now or hold as the value increases, because like fine wine and vintage vinyl, rare coins often get more valuable with time. Always store your coins in cool, dry places. Use holders or albums made for coin storage. Avoid getting tricked by counterfeit coins. Make sure you buy or sell through verified dealers. Don't assume age equals value. A shiny new quarter with an error can be worth way more than a 100-year-old coin with nothing special about it. And finally, join a local coin club or online community. The knowledge you'll gain there is priceless, and so is the support when you're unsure about a find. So there you have it, folks, the wild, unexpected, unbelievable truth about a tiny little 25-cent piece from 1991 that could change your life forever. Remember, value isn't always about what's flashy. Sometimes the greatest treasures are right in front of us, disguised as everyday objects. Whether you're a coin collector, a treasure hunter, or just someone hoping to add an extra 0 or 2 to their bank account, keep your eyes open. You never know what life or loose change might throw your way. And hey, if you found this video helpful, entertaining, or even a little inspiring, give it a thumbs up and smash that subscribe button. Share this with a friend who always borrows quarters for the vending machine. They might be throwing away their future fortune. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin, or if you're gonna start hunting now. I love hearing your stories.